But that means we're recording.
Yeah, we're recording, so that's also my big hint that it's 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It is now 7 PM, Tuesday, November 14th, 2023, and I call this meeting of the Board of Education to order. Cindy, would you please call the roll?
Gonzalez Thomas,
Present.
Hilbert,
Present.
Locke,
Here.
Arlandu,
Here.
Mathis,
Here.
Slider,
Present.
Meadows.
Present. Thank you very much. Since our last meeting, we lost a student at Batavia High School. We would like to take a moment of silence to reflect on that loss before we recite the pledge. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next, I would invite Danielle to please lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Danielle. Tom, are there any items to add or remove from the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Superintendent Kim, would like to address the board, would you like to address the board with any comments?
I would. So tomorrow is School Board Member Appreciation Day. And I wanted to take a moment just to say thank you to all of our board members for your service. Just as a token of gratitude to, at the end of the evening, please, small gesture of gratitude. We've got a little treat for you to take home with you as just a little something to enjoy for your time as serving on the board. And, you know, for many who don't know what you do, you know, being a governing body that oversees a district that has an operating budget that most people will never see, you know, in a personal lifetime or at work, most likely, and decisions that are made. And then, even on the heels of heavy news that we've dealt with over the last several days, things of that nature. Just wanted to say thank you for your service and we appreciate you. So we just wanted to take that time to say that tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, public comment. Welcome to the Board of Education, the meeting of the Board of Education. If anyone wishes to address the board this evening, please see our recording secretary. To submit a form for addressing the board, please put your full name and address in the form. Do we have any before I read the whole thing?
We do not.
Okay, do you mind if I just skip in general?
Nope.
All right, thank you. All right, BPS Partners, BEA Todd Swanson. How are you, Todd?
Great, thank you.
Good.
So I think I'm sensing a theme of brevity for tonight, so.
Don't take it on my part.
Good evening, everyone. It just seems like 3 weeks we were just here again, so it's a short turnaround time. Just a couple quick announcements that I have. First off, for the board to know that came as a result of our last bargain with administration and VEA. We created a new committee called the DCC, the District Coordinating Council, and Tom and I have been working on getting that running for this year, and we wanted to wait till all of our district committees had met at least once this year, and the Equity Committee had their first meeting just last week, and so now that we've accomplished that task, Tom and I are setting our agenda for the DCC to get together and kind of have our first oversight meeting of all of our district committees. We don't really know what to expect with the DCC since it is brand new. We don't have any set notions of what this committee is going to look like or how it's going to function or as many times we're going to meet. We're going to kind of work on that together as a joint venture between the BEA and administration. But just to let you know that the DCC is going to be meeting on the 28th of November. So by the December board meeting, we should have a report back to you on how that meeting went. That's number one. Number two, congratulations to the board members on your recognition for Board Member Appreciation. But besides your day being tomorrow, since it's American Education Week this week, is ESP Appreciation Day as well. So for the ESPs in our district, we just wanted to say from BEA, thank you for everything that the ESPs do. We've said time and time again, if it weren't for the ESPs, we would be lost. They help us in the classroom, they help us in the lunchrooms, they help us get our kids in and off the buses. They are so invaluable. we can't thank them enough. So hopefully, if you see an ESP tomorrow, reach out to them, thank them for their service to our district and to our students and to our families, because they are extremely critical in our district. And then the only other thing that I have is, whether you're traveling across town or across the country, have a great Thanksgiving and safe travels, everyone, and we'll see you in December. Thanks.
Thanks, Todd. Vespa, Marcia?
Hello, I am Marcia Schuster, and I am the BESPA president. I work at H.C. Storm Elementary as a principal secretary. So tonight, we continue our series of BESPA highlights of a support staff member. We are BESPA. We are the branches of the educational tree. This slide is just a reminder of the questions we pose to our BESPA members to share a bit of themselves to us. Tonight's featured BESPA member is Laura Versillo. She is our lead campus monitor at Louise White and also our BESPA treasurer. The Versillo family has resided in Batavia for 20 years. She has been married to her husband Randy for 26 years, and they have 2 adult boys who graduated from Batavia Public Schools. Zach is 21 years old, graduated early from Batavia High School during COVID. He is in his second year apprenticeship as an electrician and working on his electrical engineering bachelor's degree through his union. Her other son, Tyler, went through Fox Valley Career Center during his senior year at BHS, earning his EMT license. At 19 years old, he works as a medical technician in the ICU at Del Nor Hospital while attending Wabansi nursing program. Tyler just returned from Africa on a medical missionary trip. Laura's mom has recently moved in with them from Michigan after having some medical issues, and they love having her live with them. She is so helpful, always cooking, baking, and smiling. Besides their 2 turtles, Tuck and Shelley, that they inherited from Tyler's science teacher from Rotolo, they have their trusty German shepherd, Balboa, who is 7 years old. Balboa suffers from severe allergies and separation anxiety. At 100 pounds, he also identifies as a lap dog. Okay, so Laura loves to do crafts, especially quilting, which is her latest work. She enjoys gardening, coloring, painting, and writing. She teaches children's Bible studies and tutors elementary grade school children. Like many parents, being close to your child when they are at school is a great opportunity. Laura was PTO president for several years when her oldest started school at J.B. Nelson and continued volunteering through the years. She started subbing at Batavia and then became a permanent paraprofessional at Early Childhood before transferring to Louise White, which has been her home for close to 10 years. Being a paraprofessional is such a rewarding job. Her passion for children with different abilities continued to grow, and she became more involved in the special needs community. She started writing social stories to help the students understand some expectations. She encouraged by others, she began publishing children's books based on much of what was experiencing daily. She found the real challenges were not teaching non-neurotypically developing students, but explaining to neurotypically developing students understanding and empathy of different learning styles and abilities. Her books explain different situations with challenges, and she became a certified registered behavior technician and participated in many special education resource fairs and events over the years throughout Kane County. Besides selling her books, she made fidgets and heavy-weighted stuffed animals and various items that could help with children with special needs. She believes that mental health issues do not have nearly enough, not even close, support in place, especially at schools. Different learning abilities and styles challenges have increased over the last decade and continue to rise. Desperate to find a solution or at least help decrease these challenges, she created a not-for-profit organization called Inspire Higher NFP. With some of the grant money, she was able to become a certified social emotional learning educator from Rutgers University to educate children, as well as adults on social emotional learning competencies. These competencies include self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision-making, as well as how our brain works differently. These competencies have been left to teachers to blend in SEL within the academics. This is completely unrealistic as teachers struggle to get through all the academics in a day. For the last several years, Laura has been offering her services to underprivileged children at after-school programs and camps. She has taught classes online and in person to parents and to educators. Laura has recently changed her position from paraprofessional to lead campus monitor. This enables her to work in the office assisting and then helping with teachers as well as spending time with students, which she absolutely loves. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. All right, next is our student ambassador. Zara, how are you today? Good.
All right, I'm Zara. I think Jarit might be running a little late.
She is right there, so if
Oh,
you just.
perfect, perfect timing.
Good.
Great, perfect timing.
I love it.
You can start us off.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Dree and this is Zara. And some of the success this week is that we have more like college fairs in our school so that we get to visit colleges. And some of the colleges that we visited in the past is UIC. I actually went to one myself. It was amazing. And this Wednesday, we have Northeastern. And then in the future, we're also going to visit Wimbazi. And during Halloween week, we also had like a pumpkin contest for the clubs and students to participate in, and it was really great to get people participating. And we had some artistic pumpkins as well, so it was great. And then we also had our first mentoring officially last week, and we got to connect with some kids, and it was really amazing.
Yes, and then also recently, many of you may know the Mean Girls. They've been advertised all around Batavia. They put on some great shows. I went to Thursday one. I was surprised to find it packed on a Thursday evening, but I'm sure their Sunday and Saturday shows were just as packed, and it was great to see their amazing performances and all the work they put in. It really paid off. And then we also have a lot of sports going on. Winter sports are starting up with wrestling, gymnastics, as well as basketball. And speaking of sports, football has been doing amazing this season, and they're going to be playing this Saturday, actually, in the semifinals against Mount Carmel, so root them on, and we're really proud of them. And then that's all for today.
Thank you.
Thank
Could
you.
I ask one question? I'm so sorry. The very beginning, you mentioned, did you go to UIC to visit it? Or
Yeah, it was like a college visit, and we got to look around the campus, and they told us more about like the school and what they offer and clubs and
Okay, so this is because I think they had a grant from Beefy, so I'm just curious about, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, and so you took a bus?
Yeah.
Okay, that, I just wanted to make sure that that's
So cool, yeah.
how that worked out. Okay, sorry, it's a little personal thing, but. I just-
Good, Sue.
But we never hear about how it works out.
Seems like it worked out well this time.
Good, okay.
Good. All right, board
you.
liaison reports. RJ, are you good to start at your end? Do you have one?
I have no updates right now.
You were prepared, weren't you? Rob?
So curriculum committee, I unfortunately missed the last meeting due to a conflict, but got an update from the committee via email. Some interesting data, which was new to me. I had to ask Brad's help to kind of interpret it and what it was, but it seems like it's data that helps to assess, future curriculum needs. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that as the assessments continue throughout the year, and work with the committee on that. But I will be at the next committee meeting.
Mikhail, do you want to talk about RAC and
Sure.
capital?
So they started off talking about the food service, and they surveyed some students and parents at a couple schools in the district, and those results will be the drivers for the rubric. And then they're gonna put some bids out, and then they're actually gonna have taste tests. So if anyone wants to be a taste tester.
Do a lottery for who gets to
Yeah,
go.
right. And then the next, they talked about the warm, safe, dry, just more on that, and how they're gonna plan to break it down between the Louise White, H.E. Storm, and the other schools for the next 5 years.
Okay, thank you.
Insurance committee meets Thursday, so I have no update at this time.
Nothing in the future. Not that good yet?
It should be an extra good report next time. so.
Okay, looking forward to it. Danielle, anything on your end?
Yeah, since I wasn't here last time, I didn't give you guys plaque. They met back on October 19th, and their next meeting is Thursday, actually. So it was the first meeting of the year. The committee discussed its direction, and they have a goal to make a multi-year plan that aligns with the district goals. The teachers voiced the desire to have input on what professional development is offered. Then they spent some time reviewing the standards for professional learning. I don't know how many it is each year that they need, but there are 11 different standards. So it was really neat to see them all kind of talk about what is at the top of their list. So just to share what kind of came to the top in general are equity practices, curriculum assessment and instruction, evidence, implementation, equity foundations, culture, collaboration, inquiry, and leadership. And then the committee agrees that having the new strategic plan completed will help them be able to focus on a direction. And one quote that kind of felt really relatable that I want to share is, if you don't know where you are going, it's very difficult to tell if you arrived. So it's just kind of, they're trying to figure out where to go, and that way you actually know, is this even helping the students, and how to determine that. So the next meeting, like I said, is Thursday, where they'll focus on looking over planning guidelines and collecting and reviewing evaluations from the staff from the last PD session. So there's that, and then Equity just had their first meeting of the year. There was tons of energy and excitement. Tom was there as well. I think the staff is really happy to be back at the table, and they really hope that this year is going to bring some action and some forward movement. The group read, and I read along with them, before going, is called Moving from Equity Awareness to Action, which really resonates because there's been a lot of identification, but I think altogether they feel like there's not a lot of action. So it's kind of how do we start having that action? So there was a lot of good discussion. I was only able to be there for an hour, so I think the other conversation I just want to share was, who else needs to be in that group? And I don't know if it's okay if I share I think they wanted to talk about various students that maybe can join on the committee, perhaps. I don't know if there was any more discussion, best by representation, just to ensure that there's various voices that are there for the committee. So I don't know, is there anything else that you would add in, Tom?
I think you did a great job.
Okay.
That's exactly what it was, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Sue?
Beefy will meet Thursday, and Hall of Honor meets a week from today. So there's really no updates, other than it was exciting to hear about a Beefy grant that was actually in use and stuff like that.
You guys made her day, so thank
Yeah,
you.
that was exciting. No, because normally we never hear about it, so, even though we're supposed to, yeah.
The only thing I'm gonna add is we had BIC on Saturday morning, so if everybody's not aware what BIC is, it's effectively most, if not all, of the organizations that are either parent-involved, parent-led, or affiliated with the district meet to kind of brainstorm ideas, share what they're doing. First meeting was good. This one was really good. It was well-organized, everybody it really started to share ideas. Like some were like, oh, you do Winter Wonderland over at Grace McWayne, and they didn't even realize that we did that and what it meant and how it run. It's been going for 20 years. So it was a really good idea to see, particularly the PTOs, kind of share their ideas. It was really amazing. So it was a good meeting. Okay. Anyone else for anything else on that? Otherwise, we'll move on to consent agenda. Okay. According to our board policy, we designate a portion of the agenda as a consent agenda for those items that usually do not require extensive discussion before board action. These items are generally routine, recurring, and can be grouped together for efficiency. Steve, would you like to share anything before we take action?
I'll share the agenda.
Shocker.
4.1 and 4.2 is the approval of our October 24th, 2023 regular meeting and our closed session minutes. 4.3 is our monthly personnel report. 4.4 is our monthly payroll and bills. 4.5 is the destruction of our closed session recordings from May 24th, 2022. 4.6 is the acceptance of a couple of donations. We thank BAF and Batavia Arts Council for their donations this month. And 4.7 is the adoption of some policy amendments, second reading. And then lastly, 4.8 is the approval of this consent agenda.
Okay, any questions?
I just have a couple.
Sure, go for it.
And I'm not saying anything about that, I'm just curious, so for press, let's say like, I know a lot of legislation goes, like, might pass on January 1st. So let's say something passes on March, let's say this past year on March 13th. So does press start working on that right away? And then as soon as they're done, they give it to us? Or do they kind of wait for the last minute?
Great question. No, that's a great question. So they have a team of people that keep an eye on various legislation and bills that are kind of working its way through our system in Springfield. And then, depending on when the date is of, when it goes into effect, press will issue some guidance on what we should be, being mindful of. We do have other agencies that we belong to that will keep us informed of what we should be looking at, what might be coming through in passing, what might be going through veto session, and things of that nature. So the timing of when things become live for a school district is depending on how the bill was written. And whoever submitted that in Springfield, they determine with their language as to when they want the rule to go into effect.
So if it says, let's say, they say, okay, we were in session, today, and I just say, hey, I'm gonna put this bill out there, nobody knew about it, passes, then how does, let's say I give it 30 days. So then does that give us 30 days to, or does it have, press hurries up, and then we have 30 days from that?
They'll work as quickly as possible, but typically, it depends on how it's been written. So if it's in advance of any agency like press to give us guidance, we would have to probably take a look at it ourselves.
And do we always wait until press's policy to do ours? Or do we-
Usually, that's usually the practice, because it is, everything that we receive from press is usually reviewed by a team of legal experts at the IASB. So they have like a panel of attorneys that review all that.
That's all I have.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Only question? Okay, good. Thank you. I will entertain, anyone else before I move on? No? Okay. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Aaron,
Second.
second by Raquel. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Present.
Sliger,
Yes.
Sorry, yes.
Habits
My
die
bad.
hard.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
okay, sorry. Sliger,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Kilburg,
Yes.
Arlandu.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Motion passes. Tom, is there anything to share this evening under reports?
Well, our FOIA reports are presented to the board. We had those 2 submissions. Are there any questions there? No? Okay.
Okay. And then treasurer reports. Tony?
Nothing out of the ordinary, apart from our investments, which, again, are substantial and unusual for us, historically.
Okay. Any questions on the reports? All right, thank you. Action, approval of the Fieldhouse floor replacement. Hey, Mark, how are you today? Good.
Okay, last month, this was brought into a report. This is part of a bigger project. The reason this is coming this month is because of the timing to get the floor in production, make sure it's here for the summer to actually do the replacement of it. The other part of the bigger summer of '24 projects will come next month. And that would include the Fine Arts Center, the field house, maintenance, precast maintenance, lighting, other things that we talked about specific last month during the report. This particular one is just for the floor. I know we talked about it a little bit last month, and I'm bringing it tonight for approval. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I was asked that I've missed, or if there's maybe it'd be easier if there's just questions, because there's nothing. I added a few more in this report tonight that I didn't have last month. So at this point, if there's any questions that the board might have.
Anything? Any questions?
I'm just trying to compare the numbers. Was it 1.3 million last meeting? And it went down?
That was interior, so that also include the estimate for the lighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's this is just for the floor.
Okay.
So when you saw it, you probably, not probably, you saw the interior and then the exterior
Okay.
numbers.
So this landed roughly budget where you were expecting?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is right, it's it's between $19 and $20 a square foot.
okay,
It's right about, usually figure that type of flooring is right around $20, $18 to $20 range. So this is right in there. We did add some logos for this. In the center of the courts, the reason we were able to do this is because, doing the weight room floor and this floor kind of together, even though one's getting done next month and the other one's getting done in the summer, we were able to get that as a discounted rate to put in the center logos. So that's kind of the only addition, but the cost is exactly the same.
okay.
I guess just procedural question, didn't we vote on this last time? Or we just got information?
No, this was just
Got information last time.
information.
Yeah.
Last month was a report.
One of the things the board did approve prior, that maybe it's coming in is, the weight room floor.
Weight room.
Yeah.
That one was approved, so.
That was September.
Yeah, two meetings ago,
Mhm.
Yep.
yeah.
You got it, you got it.
Okay.
We'll continue our conversation on capital projects in general next month.
Okay,
For all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
more.
bringing,
Yeah.
what Mark mentioned, we'll be bringing to you the bids for the work to complete the summer of '24 projects, and we'll also talk about '25 and beyond. So we'll be talking about a lot of capital projects next month.
And just
Always this time of year.
for
Yes.
your information, the reason that's not coming tonight, because we didn't have enough time from October 24th to tonight to actually go through the bid process. The bids are due this Thursday. So it's just the timing piece of how this board meeting fell.
yeah, because that's actually a hard bid process that you're talking about for the other one. This is through
Correct.
a co-op purchasing agreement.
Yep.
Okay. Do you mind explaining what a co-op purchasing agreement is? Because not a lot of people may know.
Yeah, basically, the easiest way to explain it is these prices have already really been bid out. So instead of going through the public bid, it's an agreement. We use, this one is Sourcewell, which, and Craig would know this, but this is kind of, Sourcewell is a very standard.
Yeah.
To use. At this point, I get the reports every month, and the amount of different companies are just continue to add to it each month. Everything from, vehicles to field house flooring, to, the list really goes on and on and on. You can really do this through custodial supplies. And this one is more of, you kind of can narrow down exactly what you want. And you can be very specific in exactly what you want in here. And it kind of streamlines the process a little bit more, I think. And you can kind of do it a little quicker. And you can go, as I did, to other different companies to see exactly how they compare for specific type of floor. And I would say it doesn't happen all the time, but I think this is becoming more and more throughout school districts and talking to different colleagues of mine. This is happening, I would say, more and more.
I did a gym bleacher replacement, which 3 years ago you would never thought to do. But it was like, okay, great, sign on the dotted line, and it's been pre-bid. And the nice thing is, for like Tony's perspective and yours, you can actually get a precise idea as to what the cost is before, whereas people trying to take kind of rough guesstimates as to what the economy is doing and the trade markets is doing to when you open bids. So
Well, and I would say especially now where we're at.
it's good to have reliable data on it. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the purchase and installation of a new field house floor at Batavia High School in the amount of $1,060,600 from Kiefer USA.
So moved.
Second.
Who was that? Was that Sue? So, moved by Sue, second by RJ. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Hilbert,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Slager,
Yes.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes. Thank you, motion passes.
Don't I get to vote?
Thanks, Mark.
I didn't think I did that.
Uh-oh.
What would you like to do?
I'll vote yes.
Getting used to these roll call votes on everything right now. All right, administration comments. Tom, is there anything you'd like to add this evening?
So the only comment I have for this evening is just to let Gavin's family know that our thoughts are with them. And, obviously, situations like this are one that we hope we never encounter again. But I also want to take a moment to thank all of our staff and our administrators for giving thought and care and supporting our students and supporting each other. So that's all I have for this evening.
All right, thank you. All right, board comments. Sue, start out at your end if you don't mind.
Sure, I would just echo Tom's comments, and our thoughts and prayers are with the family at this time, and just, on that note, wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and be grateful for what you have.
Thanks, Sue.
I echo them, yeah,
Not much else.
yeah, exactly.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
You?
I'll share a couple things, I participated in. On Friday, last Friday, I attended a Veterans Day ceremony at Rotolo Middle School. Tom was the guest of honor, featured speaker. What was your official title? Served in the,
Don't embarrass
Mr. Kim served in the United States Marine Corps from 98 to 2000. A very inspiring speech about public service and that kind of thing. And I just want to say that it was a pretty moving ceremony, actually. The kids, there was the orchestra was there, the band and the choir, and especially when they played taps, there was a lot of tears, actually. It was very moving. So, very impressive. And then Saturday, I was at the football game. I want to say that Rockford Honaniga was a very gracious host. Football team is really clicking on all cylinders. Mark's son is a member of that team. So, it's very exciting. We should be very proud of the effort. They're definitely playing their best ball, and we're definitely going to have a exciting football game on Saturday. And then left from Rockford, came back and saw Mean Girls, and just unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. I don't know how these kids do it. Incredible show. I had my daughter with me. She was starstruck the whole time. I think the feeling I left after those 2 days was just the vitality and the energy, and the kids just, it's like the future's unlimited. And, and then not to end on a sad note, but then to get that news about Gavin was really a gut punch, because you realize how fragile it is. And as everyone has said before me, there's really not much that can be said, but that, when we lose one member of our communities, it impacts all of us. And so just thoughts and prayers and love and resources to the family and those impacted by Gavin. And I just want to also echo that, sometimes the toughest job in that area is, the people that have to be there to support those kids, because I know some of those people that are providing support are also deeply impacted by that loss. And so I just want to thank them for their courage and compassion for what they're doing. So, and then just, I hope everyone has a safe Thanksgiving as well.
Thanks.
So just saying, happy Native American Heritage Month, happy belated Veterans Day, and anyone that served, thank you for your service. Happy to anyone that celebrated Diwali this past Sunday. Tomorrow, like they said, is National Thank a Board, School Board members, so thank you all for serving. And then also, thank you all to the national support professionals that, support our schools every day. Just kind of go online that, with the loss of Gavin and those people that are out there supporting his family and his friends. And I just hope everyone has a very healthy and safe Thanksgiving.
So first of all, I know it's been said, but thoughts and prayers to Gavin and his family, first and foremost. Secondly, I did want to share that I was at AGS earlier this month with Senator Villa. It was a program that Principal Stevens had, I guess, signed up for or applied for, and you get a public official, I think, that comes and is the principal for the day there. And so Senator Villa came out on, it was a Monday morning, and Tom was there as well. And it was just a good opportunity to dialogue with her on some, she asked some good questions about what are some of our challenges, and Tom and Holly was there too, and Principal Stevens, they gave some feedback, and it was overall just a good dialogue. That's how I describe it. But to me, the more enjoyable part of the day for me was we greeted the students as they came in that morning, and heard a couple comments. I just want to share one student was telling us about an upcoming trip to Michigan, I think, for a vacation. And then another student was talking about the past weekend, how they went to a friend's house. But, just, it was those kind of comments, and some of the students were, of course, like, who are you guys, and what are you doing here? But overall, it was just, that atmosphere was so encouraging for myself, and I think it's a good reflection on the school, the principal, the staff, and the teachers. So great job by that whole group, and it was just a good day. So
I have nothing to add.
Anything to add? Okay. I will close out with just saying I echo everyone's comments on here. I do thoughts and prayers for Gavin's family and friends and colleagues. But I also want to say thank you to all the staff that make sure that people are aware of the resources that are there for them to support them. I know a lot of work kind of went over to try to get everybody prepared to be able to do that over the weekend, so when the kids came back, there were resources available. So I had also heard that Mean Girls was beyond amazing. I expected no less, because my son has been involved with more than a few of those, but they keep raising the bar every year, so I'm happy to hear that. So other than that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Aaron, second by Sue. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. It is now a record 7:38 PM, and the meeting is adjourned.